for former presidents to make. Sometimes you see and you believe. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today regarding the situation in Rivers State is like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, luckily Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do, but they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at the international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in the country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament, judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where a government functionary can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that economy because we are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we must build a nation for our children and our grandchildren, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must endeavor and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you're holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a special advisor, or executive, whether you're holding an office in the parliament, senate, or rep, whether you're a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right. If we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was former President Goodluck Jonathan speaking at the Husky Satumari Foundation Colloquium 2025 in Abuja, where he used the opportunity to talk about the political crisis in Rivers State, especially the illegal removal of the state governor of Rivers State Simi Fubara and illegal removal of his deputy Ngozi Odu and the sacking of the State House of Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu through his state of emergency declaration. In that state, former President Goodluck Jonathan used the opportunity to remind all the heads of governments, three arms of government, that they were complicit in what had happened in Rivers State, and that even if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made a mistake, even if to assume that he made a mistake, which he didn't make a mistake, he was deliberate in what he did, this assembly headed by Akpabio ought to have called him to order. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, the judiciary, which unfortunately provided the ammunition which Tinubu used in declaring the state of emergency, was also complicit as far as Goodluck Jonathan is concerned. Don't forget that when Tinubu was reading his address for declaring the state of emergency, what he was reading was actually the Supreme Court judgment. And all those places he called Simi Fubara a despot. These were the language that was used by the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court was an excuse for him. The Supreme Court judgment was an excuse for him to declare the state of emergency. It's not that the Supreme Court told him to declare the state of emergency, but their judgment, which many legal minds have faulted, including Professor Chidod and Kyle and others, have faulted, was the excuse for him to declare the state of emergency. So they were all complicit. That was the revered former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, is saying. And of course, you know that he is revered because he is probably the only president of Nigeria that had tried to be democratic in all his undertaking when he was president. Goodluck Jonathan, when he declared state of emergency in a situation of Boko Haram insurgency in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa states, did not sack the state institutions. He did not sack the state governor. He did not sack the state house of assembly in those states. And that was because he worked on the understanding of the mistakes that happened during the time of Obasanjo, where the Supreme Court invalidated Obasanjo's declaration of state of emergency in 2004. And Jonathan, being guided by that Supreme Court judgment, did not tamper with the democratic institution in the three states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe. Now, if you say that Obasanjo made a mistake, you could pardon him. We were just returning to democracy when Obasanjo declared the state of emergency in 2004 in Plateau State. Besides, the situation in Plateau was dire. Over 2,000 Nigerians had already been killed as a result of religious violence between Muslims and Christians in Plateau. So something extraordinary need to happen to restore peace. But you can't say the same about what happened in Rivers State. There was no thing that requires an emergency situation that couldn't have been handled by the Nigerian state to warrant declaration of state of emergency. So Goodluck Jonathan was right in drawing attention to the fact that all three arms of government abuse their powers, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in particular. And if you look at what he said, he made reference to an Indian proverb saying that for you to wake up, if somebody's asleep, it's easily to wake him up. But if somebody is pretending to sleep, to be asleep, it is difficult to wake such a person up. And in the case of what happened in Rivers State, he believed that the institutions were well awake, pretending to be asleep. This is because Tinubu himself was aware that the declaration of emergency in Rivers State was wrong. He protested against such declaration in 2004 and 2013. Even when those ones are even more were justified more than his own. Okay, so he is somebody who is asleep, who is pretending to be asleep. Tinubu was pretending to be asleep because he knows what he was doing. The same thing with the National Assembly. The National Assembly also pretended to be asleep. They know what to do. Because if you look at Section 305, it was very clear on the condition for declaration of a state of emergency. You need 2/3 of the Senate and House of Representatives. What do we have? It was the yeas and nays. That's not how to do it. You must get 71 or so senators to back you to constitute 2/3 of 109. That was not followed. The years and nays is not the process. They know the truth. That's why the former president was right in saying that it is difficult for you to wake a man who is pretending to be asleep. Akpabio, Tinubu, and all the rest of them, they were pretending to be asleep. They know what they were doing. And it is good that the former president called them out. Because they were pretending to be asleep. They know the right thing to do, but they failed to do it. Because it wasn't convenient for them to do the right thing. And he won. He said that why Nigeria is seen, why nobody have regard for Nigeria's passport internationally, it's not just because of the 419ers. It's not because of the Yahoo boys alone. It was also because of our government. The kind of things we do, the kind of judgment we tolerate. He was making a how can somebody, an investor, bring his money and invest in Nigeria, where one man can tell the judges the kind of judgments to deliver? That's what he was talking about. Who does that? At the end of the day, the whole country will suffer for the consequences of the actions of a few political actors that was taken, not at the interest of the nation, but at the interest, selfish interest of political actors. I think, I don't know what to think about this, but I believe that former President Goodluck Jonathan spoke truth to power. He spoke the minds of Nigerians, because Nigerians believe that what was done to Rivers State was wrong. The whole declaration of state of emergency was wrong. The worst was even the alteration with the democratically elected governor and deputy and the State House Assembly. That was the height of despotism. The height. We have never seen this for a very long time, where a despot is totally in charge of Nigeria, and he has a National Assembly that has our quintessence so-called despotism. That's what the former vice president or former president is talking about. That they have not only embarrassed themselves, they embarrassed the nation. And that's the reason why nobody treats Nigeria's passport with any regards. You and I cannot forget in a hurry how our chief of general staff, chief of defense staff, was denied passport to Canada. We have heard stories of how United States government denied justices of our Supreme Court visa to attend program in their country. Yes, they were denied visas. They didn't deny it when the former governor of Cross River State revealed that secret, that they were denied visa because of the judgment they delivered, where somebody who came forth in a governorship election in Imo State emerged the governor of the state. America said, we don't want to have these characters in our country. They denied them visa. It is the same thing. It wasn't for nothing that Canada denied our chief of defense staff visa to attend a program in their country. We made all the noises, Canada stood their ground. This is because, like Jonathan was saying, whatever we do, the law, whatever those leadership do, has consequences for the whole country. And look at it. How can somebody come and invest in a country where one man will tell the court what judgment they should deliver? Jonathan said it. And you know what he is referring to. And you know who he is referring to. Whatever is your position on Jonathan's condemnation of all the 3 branches of government in Rivers State State of Emergency Declaration, whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.